Yo, what is going on, guys? Today is a beautiful day, and today I'm going to share with you my story. How I went from bedridden, 125 pounds, skinny, insecure, unconfident, not able to take action towards achieving the life of my dreams, to now 155 pounds, athletic, strong, confident, and able to do just about anything I set my mind to with the will of God. And so today, it all starts with August 2015. I was 14 years old. Previously, I'd been homeschooled for 10 years. And so during these times of homeschooling, I learned how to properly learn by myself, because a lot of the times I'd have just, a set task, a certain amount of books and things to do in that day, and then I'd be able to get them done on my own time. And that allowed for me to learn self-discipline, different principles that have now transferred into my life now. Anyways, August 2015, when I was homeschooled, I went ahead and skipped a grade, so I was technically going into the junior year of high school at 14, and so I was able to go take the compass test at NIC and test into English 102. So I got the English 101 credit just because I took the test, went straight into English 102 at age 14. Now, I'm not sharing this to impress you, but to impress upon you that I was doing really well. I was able to think clearly. I was moving towards my goals and dreams. I was getting things done. And then this is when it all happened. I was taking too many classes, and I was also training to become a professional basketball player at this time and try out for the Lake City basketball team. And so I was also going to K-Tech as well. So a very, very hectic day. I was getting up at 5:30 in the morning, not getting home till 6 or 7, getting like 5-6 hours of sleep, studying like crazy, and it just downright burned me out. And so as I slowly started to burn out and fizzle out during that semester, at the beginning of the second semester is when my symptoms really started to hit. So I'd start to get these really bad stomach aches in the morning, and I just feel like kind of nauseous and tired, and so eventually I just kept getting worse and worse. We went to eventually a naturopath. We went to the medical doctor while I was still in school, but it was getting worse and worse. I'd go to school and I'd be in constant pain. It'd be hard for me to focus because of my stomach pain. And then I eventually just slowly started missing school. And so eventually we just had to pull me out because I was only going to school once or twice a week. And so at that time, we were like, what's wrong with me? We went to the medical doctors. They said that it could have been a chronic migraine of the stomach. They had no idea what was going on. We went to the naturopath. This is when we got our first diagnosis. So at this time, before I'd gotten sick, I was working out. I was in good shape. I was about 135 pounds, around 5'8". And they said that I had leaky gut. So basically, the lining in my gut wasn't strong, and it had holes in it. And so when I'd eat, the food would seep through my bloodstream. And then the pieces of food that hadn't gotten broken down by my stomach, my body would attack because it hadn't been broken down. So all the food that seeped out, my body labeled as pathogens and things that were harmful to my body. And so this caused me to not be able to eat tons and tons of different foods: chicken, rice, broccoli, different things like that. So she put me on a leaky gut diet, and this is when I really started to go downhill. I was only able to eat chicken broth and steamed vegetables. And I did not like chicken broth, and I did not like steamed vegetables, and there's actually a reason. I'm going to tell you later why. But it just, every time I ate this stuff, it made me feel sick, tired, and things like that. And so I just didn't eat that much. And so I lost 10 pounds in about 2 weeks on this diet, and I lost a lot of muscle. My body used the muscle because I was very, very lean, so I didn't have any fat to burn, so my body went to the muscle that I had. And then after that, my energy levels were trash, my appetite was trash, so we went back to the doctor, and then she tried different things, and then eventually they thought I had SIBO. SIBO stands for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, so they thought I had an overgrowth of bad bacteria in my stomach. So I went on these antibiotics that were supposed to kill the bacteria, and I went and did that, and that did not help, not one bit. And so it was just misdiagnosis after misdiagnosis, and I was just getting extremely frustrated. So by this time, I went through all these steps. And during this second semester of my junior year, I was 15, just turned 15 during that year. February, March, April, I didn't do any school. The only thing I did was try to get better. I was trying to do all these crazy diets. The one thing I did do is I literally went from my bed to the couch to my bed again. Didn't have the energy to go work out. hang out with friends. I couldn't be a normal kid. It was very, very frustrating. So eventually we kept, trying different things. As summer came around, I started to feel a little bit better. The sun, I don't know, there's something about summer that makes you just feel better. So I felt good enough to start hanging out with my friends again. And so I kind of, even when I was hanging out with my friends though, I was still always in constant pain. I had this real bad, sharp stomach pain that just would not go away. And so I kind of faked it till I made it, and I never made it. So at the end of the summer, I just kept going downhill trying to fake it. Was not eating very well, not doing very well at all. And then eventually I wasn't feeling well enough to go back to public school, go back to college. So my mom started to homeschool me again, just like I had done previously. And I did about 3 weeks of just mediocre work. It was really hard for me to focus because when you're in pain, it's so hard, to like focus on that because the pain's drawing your attention away. And so later down the line, I eventually got my appendix removed because they thought it could have been chronic appendicitis. So long-term appendicitis where they basically, thought that it was causing the stomach pain. And we got my appendix removed and didn't help at all. It basically just plateaued me again. I was still feeling like crap. And then eventually, when they did my chronic appendicitis though, they found swollen lymph nodes in my stomach. And that was a sign that my system was fighting something. So there was something in my system that just wasn't right, that my body was trying to attack and fix. So this was about November of 2016 is when I had my appendix removed. I was about 16 years old now. And it'd been about a full year since I'd been actually back in school. So after we got my appendix removed, my mom, she was very, very persistent and consistent and resilient, and she always was trying to find an answer. I was too sick. I couldn't do the research myself. I spent my time watching movies, playing video games, literally doing nothing. And this killed me because I'm a very, very type A personality. I'm hardcore. I go get it. I like to get things done. Otherwise, I feel kind of like a slacker, like a loser, like I'm not reaching my full potential. And so she kept searching, and then eventually she found this one doctor in Coeur d'Alene named Dr. Tony Smith. And he's a Lyme disease specialist. So we took me in, and he did some muscle testing, and it turns out that I had Lyme disease. And so he says that you can get Lyme disease from mosquitoes, deer ticks, things like that. So I was thinking back, and I remember I shot a deer a couple years back. And I remember when I was skinning it, there was a lot of deer ticks. So I'm guessing one of these little deer ticks got on me, bit me, infected me with this thing. But he said that the funny thing about Lyme disease is that it can sit dormant in one's body until the immune system is weak enough, then it'll come and submerge. So when I wasn't getting enough sleep, my body wasn't recovering from my workouts. I wasn't eating right either. I wasn't eating the proper nutrition, macronutrients. So it's just a formula for failure. And so eventually when my immune system broke down, I got sick, super, super sick. And this was like November of 2015. And what sucks is I had been training all summer long, all fall long, to try out for the Lake City High School JV basketball team. I got super sick. My lungs were, just not phlegmy and all this crap, and sore throat and just tired because I was sick. And so I did terrible during tryouts, didn't make the team, absolutely crushed me because I'd been training 6-7 months for this tryout to be on the team. I just really wanted to be on the team. So anyways, I had Lyme disease. It was dormant in my body when I got bitten a couple years back, and then when my immune system broke down due to lack of sleep, proper nutrition, and rest, the Lyme disease came and submerged and took over my body. And so eventually I went to Dr. Tony Smith. He healed me with his techniques. I took supplements for a couple weeks, and I eventually started getting better. But I didn't get completely better. He healed me a little bit, but not completely. I was still having stomach aches, still having brain fog, wasn't feeling good. So my mom kept searching, was persistent, consistent, resilient, kept looking for an answer. She eventually found another doctor in Virginia named Dr. Bob Miller, and he's a DNA specialist. He analyzes people's DNA and recommends organic whole food supplements to help supplement their immune system and their body that their body can't do naturally. He recommended some supplements to help process histamine and different functions of my immune system in my body. So that was really, really huge. I was taking probably 30, 40 pills a day of organic supplements, and those things made a huge difference. So, and then the next step was, this was in April when I started getting supplements from Dr. Miller. So the next step was my mom was doing research on how to recover faster. And so we found this thing called a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. And so what this chamber does is basically it submerges you, then you breathe 100% oxygen to oxygenate your blood. So basically you recover super, super fast. So 1 hour of 100% pure oxygen while submerged is like a week's worth of recovery for my body and my immune system. And so my blood got completely oxygenated with these supplements. It helped speed up the process, and I think it saved about 6 months. So I did this hyperbaric oxygen chamber treatment for about 40 times, and it took me about 2 months to do those 40 treatments. And it was absolutely crazy how powerful this chamber was. And so this was April. We started the oxygen chamber treatment on May 4th, 2017. And I still wasn't feeling too good. At this time, May 4th, 2017, I was 125 pounds, super, super skinny. My arms were like this big because I wasn't able to eat, because every time I ate, I got super sick, my stomach hurt. And so I wasn't eating that much when I was sick during this whole time. So my biceps were like this big. It was terrible. So I went to this chamber, and then I started slowly starting to feel a little bit better from this chamber. I got more energy. And so as I got more energy, I was like, I need to fix my body. My health is a mess. So I hopped on Greg's Greek God program and started with the strength and density routine. Went straight into that, and I've been training since May 2017. Now it's been 10 months later, 9 months later, 10 or 9 months later, and I've gained 30 pounds of pretty much pure muscle. So anyways, guys, I found Dr. Tony Smith, I found Dr. Bob Miller, I went to the hyperbaric oxygen chamber treatment for 2 months, and by the end of June 2017, I was about 80% better. I was able to go hang out with my friends, I was able to work out, I'd been working out consistently for 2 months, and I could eat and not be in pain. I wasn't in pain. I was able to enjoy life. I was able to look around, smell the roses, enjoy the sun without being in pain and hating my life. So anyways, guys, that is my story. I went from 125 pounds, skinny, sick, bedridden. My parents were worried I was going to die because of how sick and how small I was getting, to now 155 pounds. I'm back in school. Last semester, I took 8 credits, and I see straight A's. Now I'm taking 17 credits, and I'm going to kill it.
Every day I'm getting closer. Just look at everything I'll show ya. And now I'm ready, I'ma blow up. Yeah. I don't ever slow up. I stay young, no, I never grow